Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Your old buddy Tim back with another video coming at you today from the home studio. And I have to apologize right out front here before we get to the video. I have been dealing with sinus issues. So for the last couple of weeks, it's been really difficult for me to talk. I've been sniffing. I'm still snotty today. So really haven't felt like doing much. So the videos have kind of fallen by the wayside. But again, my apologies. I know how you folks just sit on the edge of your seats and wait for these videos. So anyway, I am still a little under the weather. My throat is hurting and a little snotty, but I'm going to do what I can to get through this because it is that time of the month again, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, time for the monthly housing update. What is going on here in the North Alabama real estate market? And I wanted to share that with you. The report came out from our local MLS earlier in the week. And so, snotty or not, here we go. Let me pull my screen up here. Hope you guys have been having a great holiday. I had a really nice, really nice Thanksgiving. Had the family over. Of course, if you follow the video, you probably know the story that I live here. My daughter Chelsea and my grandsons live 5 doors down. My other daughter kind of lives across the street. My ex-wife lives across the street. So we call ourselves the compound. And my wife Melissa is the compound chef. Amazing, amazing cook. So we had our Thanksgiving here. Excuse me, last Friday, I believe, or was it Friday before last now? And just had a really good time. Family was over, kids, the grandboys, who are just the center of my universe. So, all right. So, got my screen up here. Let me get this set for you. So, all right. So, what did the local housing market do in November? I can't believe it's already December. Um, as we always do, we look at our four main metros in North Alabama. That's Huntsville, Madison, Decatur, and Athens. And we are going to take a look at what was the average sale price in all of those. And then we will kind of go from there. So let me pull up my screen. Got it pulled up here. All right. So first off, let me say this. It's that time of the year, the fall to winter months, going into November, December, always our slowest time of the year here in North Alabama. And of course, we're compounded by the interest rates, which have come down a little bit. But you can see this is no surprise here that the average sale price last month did drop a little bit. Huntsville, we went from 364. Actually, red is Madison, from 428 down to 406. Athens, 398 down to 342. Huntsville, 364 down to 343. And Decatur, looks like we went from 273 to 262. So down a little bit in the last month. We're still up over the year. You look at the average sale prices for Huntsville, for example, we're up almost 7% over last year. Madison up almost 4%. Athens up over 7%. And Decatur, we're still up over 3%. So, we talk about the property values here a lot. We talk about the prices going up, down, that sort of thing. Again, there is no big drop in prices here. Okay, we have had some settling back because we had such a year of absolute frenzy last year, the last 12 to 18 months, especially before interest rates started doing this. The market here was insane. Unless you were coming here with just bags of money and no contingencies, you had a very difficult time buying a home. Well, now, as you can see, that's kind of turned around, and I think it's strictly due to interest rates. Money is much more expensive now than it was 12 months ago. The 12 months ago, if you could afford a $2,000 house payment, you were probably going to get a $400,000 house. Well, with interest rates bumping around 7.5, 8%, 7.5 to 8%, $400,000 house might cost you in the upper twos, to 2,800, something like that. So what we're seeing is a reflection of a couple of things. Interest rates, of course, and time of the year. Now, despite all this, we're still very much a seller's market when you look at inventory. For example, let's look at number of homes for sale. All right, that pops up. You can see the number of homes for sale. I mean, given the area, 355 in Huntsville, 156 in Madison, 119 in Decatur, 122 in Athens. That's not a lot of houses. We are still very much at a low inventory situation. In fact, let's look here at month supply. The month supply tells us this: if no other houses go in the MLS, based on the average sales rate and sales prices, how long will it be before we're completely out of inventory? Well, you can see Huntsville, we're looking at just a little over 2 months in inventory. Madison, 2 months. Athens, 2.5 months. Decatur, 2.5 months. This is still very much a seller's market when it comes to inventory. All right. We're at a 20-year low in inventory. It's going to be a seller's inventory market until maybe we get enough inventory coming in to where there are 4 or 5 months worth of inventory. So this is kind of a unique situation where, you know, the market is slowed way down. If we look at days on market, and these numbers honestly are really deceiving. Let me switch to average here. That's better. Huntsville, 30 days on market. Madison, 26. Athens, 26. Decatur, 26. You know, it wasn't that long ago. If you go back here, gosh, look at last May. I mean, houses literally went before they even hit the market. So again, very odd situation. We've got really low inventory. We've got really high interest rates, still got high demand, but houses are sitting longer. Now, why is that? Well, interest rates. The interest rates is really causing everyone to pump the brakes. Let's wait and see what happens. Let's get through the end of the year. You know, my prediction is, and this is based on the history of the last 5 years, you know, things are going to be somewhat slow until we get into February. February, March, I think you're going to see interest rates settle back to about 6%, and that's where they're going to stay. I don't see them going any lower at all. So once interest rates do settle down, then you're going to see inventory flying off the market. I believe we are going to get back to that market where, you know, unless you're a cash buyer, you're going to have to hustle to find a house. That's why I keep saying this, and people want to argue with me. Interest rates aside, there has been no better time to buy a home in the North Alabama market than right now. Maybe so for the last 2-3 years, because yes, inventory's tight, but guess what? Days on market longer. Sellers still control the inventory. However, sellers are now more likely to wheel and deal. You are coming into a market here where negotiations are the norm. You're coming into a market where there are concessions, especially by builders. The sellers want to sell their homes, and they understand the market is not what it was a year ago. However, give it February, March, you're going to see things really whip around here. So yes, interest rates are high, but there's never been a better time to be a buyer in this market. That's it. Those are that's the bottom line. Now, you know, I tell folks this, you know, if you want to go ahead and bite the bullet now and purchase the home, well, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months out, you're going to be able to refi that and get that lower interest rate. And if you can go from a 7 to a 6, that's a nice chunk going away every month off of your house payment. So keep that in mind as well. So, all right, so let's go back, get back over here to the average sale price. Again, down just a little, but holding pretty firm. If you want to look at the median price range, you can see the median price is down again across the board. Median price $285 in Huntsville, $355 Madison, $305 Athens, $230 in Decatur. So let's look at the number of new listings that came on the market. And you can see down again, 175 in Madison. We went from, or in Huntsville rather. So we went from 218 down to 175. Madison 85 down to 63. Athens, a big drop, 59 to 41, and Decatur's pretty flat. So again, this is kind of just reflective. The market has not been flooded with properties since way back here. So the inventory is again low, new listings less. And one of the reasons why that is, again, is this is our downtime of the market, downtime of the year. A lot of folks are sitting on homes that they will put on the market come January. So you're going to see these numbers bottom out here, I believe, and spike back up in January. All right, again, number of homes for sale, 355 Huntsville, 156 Madison, Athens 122, Decatur 119. Again, not a lot of inventory, guys. Still low inventory. Pending sales, Huntsville went up a little bit from 141 to 158. These are homes under contract to close. Madison dropped, and look at Athens and Decatur, both went down a little bit. Again, understandable this time of year. If we go back to November of last year, that's where the drop is. And then the bottom, December, and then bounce back in January, and we start the ride over again. I firmly believe that's what's going to happen this year. Number of closed sales. These are homes that finally closed. 144 Huntsville, Madison 71, Athens 40, Decatur 40. We've already looked at the days on market. Homes are sitting. They are sitting a little while, and that's one of the things. If you're a seller, you've got to understand that very few homes are going the first day, the first week, the first couple of weeks. Even in the city of Madison, where demand is always super high because it is the preferred bedroom community, homes are sitting on the market a little longer than Madison. We looked at month's supply. Is there anything else we want to look at? I don't think so. I think that's good. Let's switch over to new homes. Let me switch that on my criteria. New homes would be homes, new construction, ready for occupancy. All right. And, the new homes, looking at these stats, they're kind of all over the place, and you have to kind of take them with a grain of salt, because the price of a new home, it will, from the time they put it in the MLS when they're about to break ground to the time it closes, it could be 12, 14, 18 months. And so during that process, they change prices in the MLS, or they'll set the price here and then they'll change it once it gets set to sell. So take these numbers with a grain of salt as well. So let me change this over to average. All right. So new construction, again, went down across the board. Looks like Huntsville went from 507 down to 420, Madison 491 to 443, Athens 420 down to 346, Decatur 367 down to 308. One thing you might also find interesting is builders dump homes at the end of the year. They don't want homes on their books come January 1. So a lot of builders start slashing prices. They start offering incentives. A couple of them really rush to close, which I think is a mistake. And I think it can reflect in their build. Not going to mention any names. You know who you are. But if you are looking at new construction, end of the year, it's kind of like the car business. You've heard of end of the year model sale. Same pertains to new construction. So you can see that going down. Really, the rest of the stats are not that important. You can see a handful came back on the market in new listings, homes for sale. Again, new construction always goes down a little bit at the end of the year, unless it was last year when they were struggling to keep up. Okay, back here, the builders really didn't have a lot going on. Well, then demand started to really kick in. This is when the builders were telling realtors, we don't need you. Well, guess what? Now, every day a builder drops cookies off in my office. All right. So there you go. That's it. That is the stats for the month of November. Now, again, my crystal ball hasn't worked in a long time, but just based on what I know from being in the business for the last 5 years and staying on top of the data every month, I think what you're going to see is the month of December is the bottom. You're going to see come January, I think interest rates are going to start coming down. I think they'll eventually settle to around 6 or so. And that's not just my opinion. It's the opinion of a lot of people that I know and trust in the business. I think you're going to see the market pick back up. I think you're going to see activity increase. And anytime activity increases in a low inventory market, prices start to do this. So again, it's a great time to buy if you are a buyer. All right. So there you go, guys. I hope that was there you go, guys. I hope that was helpful. I appreciate you being patient with me in the throat here. Hey, don't forget, if we can do anything for you when it comes to real estate here in North Alabama, we have leading edge real estate group, 300 and some odd agents right now, over 7 offices across North Alabama, Southern Tennessee, ready to go to work for you. And hopefully we'll all be back healthy very soon. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.